We appreciate you being with us. Anyway, one of Hunter's American business associates who is tasked with facilitating a deal in China, Tony Bobulinski, is now sounding the alarm. He said the deal in China was not about Hunter Biden or Jim Biden. It was about the Biden family, led and operated by Joe Biden. He now believes that Joe and the entire family are compromised. And joining us now with more, former Biden family business associate. You guys know Tony Bobulinski? Thank you for being with us. So I'm glad we're investigating it. Joe Biden lied to the country when he said, and you know for a fact, you were there, when he said that he had no knowledge of Hunter's business.
Well, Sean, if you'll humor me, it's an honor to be here at the Patriot Awards. I'm a United States vet. I was a naval officer. My entire male family served this country. And what an amazing night that Fox News puts on to recognize all the prior vets, future vets, police officers and first responders. So I'm just, from myself and my family, I'd like to extend a holiday thank you to all those people that have fought and defended this country.
Thank you for saying that, and thank you for your service as well. You know what? We have some real heroes here. Yeah. And by the way, we're honored. They give us this camera every night, so we have an opportunity to give a story the rest of the media won't, and that's part of your story. You met with Joe Biden. You met with Hunter Biden. And Joe Biden lied when he said he knew nothing about Hunter's business, Foreign Business Association.
So this is tough. Obviously, we have 4 minutes, and this I've spent
a little more.
Yeah, a little more. Out of respect for Congressman Jordan and Congressman Comer, who are working really hard, and their teams are working really hard. Just walking around the Patriot Awards tonight, I've had 100 people probably ask me, hey, is justice going to happen? What's going on with this? And my message to them is just be patient. I think Congressman Comer is very focused, and Congressman Jordan are very focused. And obviously, I've provided extensive amount of facts. 2 years ago, I came out publicly before the 2020 election with the hope that all the American people would be given those facts. And unfortunately, through the collusion of big tech, the FBI, and the mainstream media, half the country never heard about those facts, and I think that's quickly going to change starting this morning with the press conference that Congressman Comer and Congressman Jordan had, as well as because I do want to show due respect to Senator Johnson and Senator Grassley, who've been working tirelessly on this for years. They both won their re-election, and thankful to the American people, and they have some great stuff. The facts, Sean, the facts matter. So we don't have to sensationalize this. So the facts matter.
You know for a fact, because you were talking about foreign business deal, nothing illegal, but you were talking about it with Joe and Hunter, and you were in a room, and you know for a fact that when on Hunter's laptop were the references to the big guy, it was Hunter Biden. It was Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're actually still talking about this 2 years after I've come public. 1,000% Joe Biden is the big guy. Congressman Comer addressed it this morning. There is a trove of facts, and the good news for the American people is not only have I come forward, but in the last variety of months, multiple whistleblowers have come forward with a whole trove of facts that corroborate everything I've said, as well as add incremental information to it. And I think the American people are going to see those facts. I think they're going to be shocked by those facts, and hopefully justice is served.
You knew Hunter. You knew the rest of the family. Did any of them have any experience that they could offer these countries in exchange for the massive amounts of money we're talking about?
Well, the good news, once again, is the American people don't have to take my word for it. Hunter Biden, in his own words, says he is putting his entire family legacy on the line to do business with the Chinese Communist Party, CFC. He says that in his own words in numerous text messages and other things I've provided both to the FBI and other whistleblowers. So don't take my word for it. The good news is Congressman Comer and Congressman Jordan have troves of documents that will corroborate all this. But 1,000% Joe Biden is the big guy.
Can I ask if you've met with all these investigators?
I'm sorry?
Have you met with these investigators?
Both Congressman Jordan and Congressman Comer know I'm more than willing to cooperate, and as are Senator Johnson and Senator Grassley, so I'll make myself available to them around the clock.
So the only thing that the Bidens were offering is what? Their name? And what were these other countries? I mean, you're sitting in the meetings, you know, you're talking business, you know he has no experience. Why would anybody be offering the type of money we're talking about? Look at China, for example, $1.5 billion deal with the Bank of China. You're going to choose Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, or Hunter Biden, or $100 million from an oligarch, former First Lady of Moscow. Why were they doing business with the Bidens? And at the end of the day, is it your belief, being involved in all of this, that in fact our national security is compromised with Joe Biden as president?
Good. This will be the last, hopefully last question, because I do want to get to Herschel Walker, who's been an inspiration to me. Our national security was compromised by the Biden family. I believe Congressman Comer will prove that, as will Congressman Jordan. The Biden.
There you go.
Excuse me, sorry. The Biden. Yeah.
There you go. I'm giving you some water. By the way, it's everyone clap for him. There you go. Send your belly out.
I know we're live, but you know, the Biden family was doing business with the Chinese Communist Party, and you once again don't have to take my word for it. Hunter Biden says that in the first person. Joe Biden was well aware of it in that audio recording where he calls Hunter to acknowledge that the New York Times was going to release an article that talks all about it.
And the FBI had this laptop now forever, and they didn't do a thing. All right, last thing. Herschel Walker inspired you in your life.
Yeah. So I think your audience knows this, but the most important thing going on in my mind in this country right now is the next 20 days, Herschel Walker, who's a personal friend and has been an inspiration to me since I was in my young teens as an athlete, enabled me to develop the discipline that I applied in athletics, the military, college, and business. So it's not political to me, it's personal, but what an inspiration he was to me, and he's an inspiration as a man. And anybody watching this, teamherschel.com. He needs help.
He's on tonight.
He needs help.
He does.
Teamherschel.com. I'm going to Georgia. Voting starts on November 28th through December 6th, and people need to come out and start voting and support him. He's a great man, and our country needs him, and Georgia needs him.
Tony, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah,
Tony Bobulinski, everybody. All right, coming up, we have new details about the brutal murders of 4 Idaho college students. Also, Senator Ron Johnson reacts to his exchange with the FBI Director Wray about Hunter's laptop, and who's going to replace Nancy Pelosi in leadership. I vote for AOC. I'll explain straight ahead. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.